I watched a quiet student bring a guitar case to school the day after a teacher humiliated him. What happened next changed our school forever. As a high school English teacher for 15 years, I've learned to notice the quiet ones. Jake was exceptionally bright, but painfully shy, printed the kind of student who knew every answer but would rather fail than raise his hand. His essays showed remarkable insight, but in class, he was practically invisible. Mr. Harmon, our vice principal, who still taught chemistry, had a different approach to quiet students. He believed in breaking them out of their shells through what he called constructive embarrassment. Most teachers privately disagreed with his methods, but his position of authority made it difficult to challenge him. Last winter, Jake gave a presentation in Mr. Harmon's class. His stutter, normally mild, worsened under pressure, according to students who witnessed it. Mr. Harmon interrupted Jake mid-presentation, saying, "At this rate, we'll be here until graduation. Either speak properly or sit down." When Jake struggled to continue, Mr. Harmon mimicked his stutter to demonstrate the problem. The class fell silent, parent not laughing as perhaps expected, but frozen in collective discomfort. Jake gathered his materials and walked out. The next morning, I was monitoring the hallway when I saw Jake enter the school carrying a guitar case. Something about his expression made my skin prickle. He walked with purpose, his usual hunched posture replaced with a rigid determination. "I didn't know you played, Jake." He seemed startled by my presence. Just started learning," he said. "Mind if I see? I used to play a bit myself," I said, reaching for the case. After a moment's hesitation, he handed it over. The case was surprisingly light. When I opened it, I found not a guitar but a carefully arranged collection of letters, dozens of them, addressed to teachers, students, his parents, and even Mr. Harmon. The letter on top, addressed to Itterfins. These began, "I wanted you to know why. Every day for 3 years I felt invisible except when I am being humiliated." Jake was watching my face as I read. I closed the case and said, "Let's talk," in my classroom for 2 hours as students filled the hallways and first period began without us. Jake spoke more than I'd heard him speak in 3 years combined, about the relentless bullying that teachers never saw, about Mr. Harmon's special attention to students he deemed too shy, about how he'd planned to leave the letters in the cafeteria before ending things behind the school. By the end of our conversation, Jake had agreed to speak with our school counselor. I walked him there myself, guitar case in hand. What followed was a seismic shift in our school. Jake's parents filed a formal complaint. Other students, emboldened by Jake's courage, came forward with similar experiences. Mr. Harmon was placed on administrative leave pending an investigation and eventually resigned. The school board implemented mandatory training on recognizing signs of distress and bullying, including when it came from staff. Anonymous reporting systems were established, and perhaps most importantly, our principal publicly acknowledged the failure to protect students like Jake. Jake graduated last spring. His stutter has improved with therapy, though it's still present when he's nervous. At graduation, he gave a short speech. His class representative Pairdell, a position his peers elected him to after his story became known. Sometimes I think about that guitar case and how close we came to a different ending. I think about how many Jakes might be sitting in classrooms right now, collecting their letters, making their plans. The quietest students often carry the heaviest burdens. As educators, our job isn't to force them into uncomfortable spotlight or toughen them up. It's to create spaces safe enough that they might, when ready, choose to be heard. Jake now mentors younger students and recently texted me, "Sometimes the bravest thing isn't speaking up. Sometimes it's just showing up one more day."